All right, and there we are. We are live. It is Flyers game day. There's Brian Smith, Jason Martinez, the home studios. It's a little darker in here tonight because, dude, have you noticed like when it gets a little warm out this time of year, the gnats come out like crazy?
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Like my home studio, I have 20-foot ceilings in my basement, my garage, and my home studio is built into a loft space in my garage. It's all
Okay.
soundproofed and everything, and carpeted and insulated and all that. But I leave the door open a lot, so I had all these gnats coming in. So I decided to dim the lights a little further.
There you go.
I've been
Yeah.
squishing them on the screen, like going like dead gnat, dead gnat.
Yeah.
I've killed a lot of gnats today. I'm a serial gnat killer. Um, Flyers and Leafs tonight. Sorry, I'm going to have to hit my mute button on a number of occasions to be ready, Smitty, because I'm still dealing with the cough from hell.
I gotcha.
Feeling 100 times better, but still got a good ways to go on this highway of RSV. It's been fun. The azithromycin is the Z-Pack is working pretty well. I got 2 more days left of that.
I'm just glad you can't send it over the internet.
Yeah. How about me doing the right thing the other night for the game and not coming down?
Taking the option? Yeah.
Yeah, and coughing all over everybody Saturday because you all would have had it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And this has been no picnic at all. And the team's going on the road too, on that tube, giving it to, you or Coatsy or Timmy and to the team and everything else. No way.
Might have killed Coatsy. You never know, right?
Yeah, well, he could have drowned it.
Yeah.
He drowned a few other ones. I think what we're going to get to first is Tort's pregame today. Because I'm a little surprised at who's coming out of the lineup. It's Braun coming out and Morgan Frost coming out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised on both ends of that.
Yeah, and again, I don't think it's necessarily you take your 12th forward out in this situation. I think it's you're going to put in one player, and you're going to put in a Lisinski, and you got to put him in a spot where he's going to fit. And to be honest, right now that fourth line where he was playing so well that you can't break that up. So it's one of the other three, and I don't think it's a message. I don't think it's anything like that necessarily. I think it's just back to back. You want a set of fresh legs in there, and somebody's got to come out to do that.
Yeah, and he's bringing Zamula in, and he'll play with Sealer. And I mean, you could have moved Frost into a wing position and move Lisinski into the middle, or move Lisinski to a wing and scratch McHugh in.
Mm-hmm.
But this is clearly the path that Torts wants to take. So let's hear from him pregame today, discussing his lineup and much more. Here's the head coach, John Tortorella, addressing the media.
Just that. Don't turn it over. We're fighting to be the best team we can be. With the personnel we have, we cannot recover from self-inflicted wounds as far as turnovers. It makes the game too hard for us. So just that. We have to play a simple game.
You've been very clear that you're not paying too much attention to shot volume, but the scoring chances that you have been able to generate, what have you made of those, and how do you continue to get
for us?
Yes.
Not enough. Still had chances last night, even though it was very one-sided in the chances against. Like I said after the game, that's where we're at right now. We continue to try to get better defensively. I think a lot of problems, especially last night, to just fresh in my memory, is we have chances to move the puck and make a play, and we either don't complete the play or we just turn it over. We just don't see the play. We're trying. The effort, there's not a single moment I'm questioning the effort of our team, but we need to relax more and have the puck more and not give it back to the team. This team's loaded for bear tonight. They're looking to come at us. They know it's a back-to-back for us. A lot of shit going on around the city here about this club. We just need to stay within ourselves, but also have confidence to make plays.
What is the key to getting players like Noah Cates, Morgan Frost, Joel Farabee going offensively?
Yeah, well, Frost is out tonight. I'm going to put Laz in. Laz is going in. Frosty and Bronner are out. Big Z comes in and Laz. get them going, you try to give them opportunities, and I think I've been fair giving them opportunities, especially Frosty, who's out. I just need to see more out of him as far as playmaking because he does not do enough for us on the other side of the puck. Catesy, you know how I feel about him. He does so many good things in the details of the game, but we have to get some offense out of him also. So we're just going to keep on putting him in the situations.
Whenever you're playing a team that's in a slump or that's
Are you finished?
Sandstrom.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Sandstrom goes.
Okay.
Yes.
Whenever you're playing a team that's in a slump or their confidence may be shaken a little bit, how much as a coach do you use that to motivate your own players?
No, I don't. I really don't talk much about any of the teams we're playing. I'll give them odds and ends about something to look for. But as far as where their mindset is, where it's going with that club, we're so concerned, and we have enough to be concerned about is our execution. So we're just trying to find our game.
In a back-to-back situation like this, how important is it for the team to start off quickly? And is there anything that you're giving in terms of messaging to kind of get that quick start out of it?
Just that is not try to do too much. We need to get our legs underneath us. It came in late last night. A lot of guys piled in a lot of minutes against the Rangers. Just trying to start the game in a simple fashion, hit someone, just to get ourselves going. And I think we need to be a patient team. And, take what they give us and not can't get into a track meet with them. We can't go back and forth, and we can't allow them to play a 140-foot game as far as turning pucks over. And we need to make them come the full 200 and then allow ourselves to get into the game that way.
John, in terms of where your group is, where are they in terms of grasping what you're trying to get across, and how long in your experience does it take for a group to really get a new coach's system, foundations down?
It's different for every team, every situation, every player. I know the group's trying. I like the group. I think it's a tight group. We're a bit of a find-a-way team here. We've won some games. We've had just fantastic goaltending, but we've played some good key minutes at certain times. I just want that to flow into a little bit more confidence in our game with the puck. That teaching the defense is going to take some time, but we just can't be on the defensive side of it as much as we are right now. That means we have to have the puck more. So that's the part of the game I hope we start the game, make some plays. I thought in the third period last night we made some plays, and then grow from there, because we can't keep on spending the amount of time without the puck that we have.
What do you make of the Sheldon's? There's a lot of pressure in the city.
You guys don't know anything. See, I coach against Sheldon, and I think coaches know other coaches. You guys don't know what he does. You don't know what he's done for that team. I've watched him far, and I have to admit, I coached him. We've had conversations as a young coach in this league. You guys chuck darts at him because you want some results, and I guess it is. It's always the coach that gets the darts chucked at him. But I know in watching him and coaching against him, I think he's a terrific coach. And I hope he jams it to you all, quite honestly. Not tonight, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for him.
Why is it always the coach that seems to get the...
I'm asking why? I'll ask you that question. You're probably second guessing him. Yes. Yeah. It is what it is. And I can't answer that question. It's part of our being. And again, I'm not complaining about it, but I think he is a really good coach. And you guys don't have a clue what he does for that team.
One or two more. Carey Price is semi-retired now, and Fleury being the age that he's been, it's been sort of some consternation in the country as who are the next Canadian goaltenders. Is Hart now pushing himself into a position where he might become one of those?
God, I haven't really followed it all. I'm not in Canada. I haven't really. It's a kind of a question that you just kind of hit me with. I'll tell you about Carter. When I first started, when I got the job and had conversations about him with the organization, he was force-fed into the Philly organization and a really tough team for goaltenders, really tough city for goaltenders. He's had some ups and downs, but I'll tell you right now, in the short situation here in the first month, he has not only done the job and some on the ice, I just love the way he handles himself off the ice. And that's what I look at. Dilly's our goaltending coach. I don't know a damn thing about it. He'll coach him as far as the technical part, but I watch him as far as how he handles himself as a pro. I think he's been terrific. And, short sample, he's going to have to keep doing it because we're going to go through some growing pains, and it's going to fall on him to the mistakes we make that aren't going to be in the back of net. But I think he's done a terrific job so far.
There we go. I'm back now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't hear you, and that's not good.
Yeah. I love what he said about Carter there. I didn't pick that up earlier today.
Yeah.
That not only the way he's, working his butt off on the ice, but the way he's conducting himself off the ice. I love hearing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we've known for a while that he's a bit of a gem in that regard. We've seen our share of goalies come through here that have been interesting off the ice, right? So it's
not gems,
just down to earth and unflappable and all that good stuff. Things that we've known about him for a long time. It's a testament to him, and then now. Torts has seen it firsthand. I'm sure, you see some things when you're not in the organization, but there's some stuff that you don't normally. It's just all part of getting accustomed to things.
Yeah. And, he's holding Morgan Frost to a high standard. Needs him to, generate offense. He's not the type of player that's going to give you enough in the other areas if he's not giving you offense. And he's drawn a line for his level of standard, and it's not always about stats, but in this case, it's got to be about some stats because there hasn't been stats.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be some offense there, and again, I don't see this tonight as being a punishment or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, he's not trying to do anything more to better the lineup other than get some fresh legs in, and they want to put Lazinski at center, and in doing so, they pull out Frost from that center position. So I think it's a one game thing. I think he's back in. Come the weekend in Ottawa. What's going to be interesting, I guess, then is what the Flyers are going to do at that point, and hopefully they still have a tough decision to make in terms of the lines. But Kiefer Bellows coming in has he has been showing some stuff, and if you don't want to touch that fourth line, if you like what Lucas Sedlak is doing, then you've got to figure out where. Yeah, I think you got to figure out where else to go. So it's a good problem to have, but it is going to be interesting to see what happens on Saturday.
Yeah, Eric messages and says, I don't trust the backup goalie right now. Now, Sandstrom, every one of his games has been on a back-to-back. Look, that's the hard thing about being a backup. Like all these people say, oh, make a young guy the backup. Make a young guy the backup. And I've always pushed back on it a little bit, Bri, because being the backup in the NHL is not hard. You don't play a lot. You tend to play a lot in disadvantageous positions like this, a team that's home resting while you're coming in on a back-to-back. And it's a tough way to make a living in the NHL, being that backup goaltender. It's just not easy.
Yeah, it's not, especially when you haven't been through the rhythm of being a starter in the NHL. He's been through the rhythm of being it in the American Hockey League, and really what he's doing right now might be a little bit similar to that, in that you play a game, then you don't play for a week, and you play another game. I would have to sit back and look real hard at what's in front of him. But he has shown a couple of occasions where pucks have gone through him that probably shouldn't. And so, we'll see what happens tonight. The Flyers came into the camp thinking to themselves probably that, okay, you got two young guys. You got Sandstrom, you got Ersson. Is one of them ready to be the backup? And I felt like in training camp they showed that they were. So now it's just a matter of waiting to see whether that carries over to a backup role or not. And if it's not going to, then maybe there is a veteran coming in down the road. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But, to this point, I can understand that sentiment, but I still think Sandstrom has yet to show his best game.
Yeah. And to me, being a backup is it's a learned craft. Sometimes you have to have been, like you said, a starter or a guy that's been in the league a long time to learn how to handle the preparation and
Yeah.
the headspace of being a backup. Because there's only one crease,
Right.
and the starter's going to get the bulk, and it's a difficult thing to do. It's why you see so many veterans transfer into that role because they're unflappable at that point. When you're trying to make your way in the NHL on limited playing time, it's tough.
We got about 5 seconds. I got to switch over here.
All righty. It is a pregame show. It's Flyers game day. There's Brian Smith, brought to you by Betway. And the Flyers are in Toronto tonight, where there's a ton of noise, as always. But there's a lot right now after that loss they had against the Anaheim Ducks the other day. No, certainly not. Yeah. So Toronto is in a bad way. Mitch Marner got benched. He went down the tunnel the other day and smashed a stick, and people freaked out. Oh, my God, he smashed a stick. You wouldn't believe how many times guys go back in that hallway and smash a stick. They just happened to catch it on camera of him grabbing the gloves to go down the hallway to make sure he didn't get any carbon fiber splinters from doing it. But it happens. Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't think I've ever met a player that smashed more sticks than Scott Hartnell in his time. Hartsey as a Flyer, I mean, he'd smash him in the hallway. He'd come into the room where I was working, walk in, and just smash the hell out of one, give a turn and a smile, and walk right out and go back on the bench. Yeah. 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 I mean, you take it out on a nice $300 twig. Let's go through our lines for tonight, Bri. In Toronto, Hayes centering Farabee and Konechny. Lawton centering Noah Cates and Owen Tippett. I thought Owen Tippett really looked good in that last game. I'm going to be zeroing in on him again tonight. Lazinski centering Kiefer Bellows and Zach McEwen as Frost comes out. And then Sedlak centering Allison and Delarier. Those are your forward lines. D pairs, Provorov and D'Angelo. Sanheim and Ristolainen. Sealer and Zamula draws in. And Sandstrom gets the nod tonight in net. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out on Saturday. But right now, the Flyers looking for a way to find a win in a back-to-back. This is an area they have not been successful. It's a tough spot. Sometimes, like San Jose, they were on a back-to-back, although they were actually closer because they played earlier in the day against New Jersey, and the Flyers were traveling in from further away. But they got to find a way to win these games in the back-to-backs, and we'll see if they can get one tonight over a team in Toronto that's bleeding a little bit right now to start the season.
It's a difficult thing to deal with. You've got to figure out, how not to squeeze the sticks hard and how not to, put too much pressure on yourself when you're trying to play your way out of it, and everything that's around you doesn't help. So, we talk about it being a playoff atmosphere when the Flyers in the playoffs and how everybody's watching. That's every day in this area, in this city, I should say. Every day in Toronto is like that. So
It's like the Eagles times 10.
yeah, there are a lot of expectations for them to have have a next step type of year. And to this point, they're not having it. So they've got to try to figure it out post haste here before there has to, somebody makes some changes. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you've got a bunch of guys that have a talent level to which they are not performing right now, and eventually it's going to come around. And the Flyers just hope it doesn't happen tonight. Tortorella was talking with the Toronto media when they asked him about Keefe. He says, "I hope he sticks it to you, just not tonight." That's the key thing there. They got to beat him tonight. But yeah, eventually these guys are going to pop in, and they're going to start scoring the way they should. For whatever it's worth, these guys have been off since, I believe, Saturday. So they're going to be well rested, but at the same time, a little rusty. So, somewhere over the weekend. So, Flyers hopefully are going to be able to jump on them here early and kind of weather the storm a little bit from the energy they're going to have.